Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to News 9 Live. The big question that we're trying to decode, analyze, probe at the moment. These ED, CBI probes on various opposition leaders, is it going to end up uniting the opposition? Is it already uniting the opposition, as it were? The CBI summons to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has become a real rallying point for the opposition. Several opposition leaders expressed solidarity with Arvind Kejriwal over the summons. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge spoke to Arvind Kejriwal and expressed solidarity. Kejriwal had also earlier written to Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin on the federal structure of the country being under grave danger, to which Stalin replied, saying tenets of the constitution are being compromised. The Enforcement Directorate raids and the CBI summons, along with Rahul Gandhi's disqualification, has become a rallying point for the opposition, even making former adversaries bury their differences and unite. To speak more about this, joining me in the broadcast here in the studio is my colleague Karthikeya Sharma, and also with us on the broadcast, Anila Singh, spokesperson for the BJP, and Abhinandita Dayal Mathur, spokesperson for the Aam Aadmi Party. Anila Singh, I'm going to first come up to you. This question that we're asking, do you think it's justified? Take a look at the optics. Kejriwal comes out, dials Mallikarjun Kharge. He's in conversation with Nitish Kumar as well. Various political camps now moving their pieces ahead of 2024. What's going on in the mind of the BJP?
My Ram Ram to everyone. And if you talk about Bharatiya Janata Party's agenda, vision is very, very clear. We are here to serve our nation. We are here to contest elections. We are here to do the politics. We want to do each and everything which makes our country more better. And this is what we are doing under the leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. If we talk about, as you mentioned, about the ED or the CBI investigation and all, these are the agencies, autonomous agencies. They're doing their job. Let them do their job. If you have not done anything wrong, then why so much of restlessness is there? I mean, they can't create things against you. Okay, somebody is accusing you, they might, but if they've got evidences against you, then you should worry that yes, that you are on the wrong foot. But if you've not done anything wrong, then why you are so much rattled? Why are you accusing these agencies being used by the present ruling government in the center? It is not like that. But the reality is, we know it very well, that these political parties, if I talk about the opposition political parties, majority of them, they are the political parties which believe in dynacracy. They are the political parties who believe in appeasement politics. And for all this, and to do politics with these all things, you need money. And for money, they go on wrong paths, whether it is about the corruption or any other illegalities. So if you claim that you are holier than cow, then...
Well, absolutely. It seems like we're having some technical difficulties with Anila Singh ji, but we got her initial comments. Abhinandita Dayal Mathur, spokesperson for the Aam Aadmi Party, also with us. Firstly, do you resonate with what Anila Singh ji here is talking about? And, on the other hand, somebody like Arvind Kejriwal, he has been sharing the stage, sharing the stage with, leaders from the South, be it K. Chandrasekhar Rao or Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, but not necessarily with any Congress party leader. But now Mallikarjun Kharge, for the first time it seems, Aam Aadmi Party and Congress bonhomie could grow stronger, something like that could be on the cards. Your viewpoint on that, Abhinandita?
Thanks. For us, that is not the question. The question is not whether the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, or the TMC and the Congress, or any other party come together with each other. The big question right now is a threat. We feel that there is a threat to the democracy. There is a threat to the federal structure. There is a threat to the institutions of this country. There is a threat to political, electoral politics. There is a threat to the country, therefore. So we feel that at the moment, there is a very clear sign by the BJP that no matter who you are, and regardless of who you are, if you are opposed to us, you are corrupt. But if you join us, you will be holier than thou. That is the trend that is happening. Now, if you see about uniting the corrupt, actually it is the BJP that is uniting the corrupt by taking them in its own wings. So magically, if you join the BJP, you are suddenly clear of all problems. If BJP, I must say, was any serious about corruption per se, Then, the remarks by the very explosive remarks by Satyapal Malik, governor, recently should have actually raised very serious alarms, and then there should have been action about it. Nothing. The huge tragedies in Gujarat, there should have been some action about it. Nothing. The cash that was found in the Karnataka MLA's house, no real action. So the ED and CBI are obviously selectively, attacking the opposition. Number two, you also must see that why is this happening? The political scenario in which this is happening. Look, the fact of the matter is that the BJP has failed to deliver on governance. They have failed to deliver on the promises that they made, based on which the country gave them such an unprecedented, huge, historic mandate. What do the people get in return? Tax on their doodh and dahi. What do the people get in return? Shabby schools and hospitals. Imagine 30 years of their rule in Gujarat, and Prime Minister did not have one school, one real school to showcase, and had to actually make a tent facade and be in a fake school. I mean, so there is absolute failure on the side of the BJP, and then these are all strategies to remain in power. These are all strategies to threaten any potential opposition that may arise and to remain in power. As far as the law is concerned, look, there is a legal aspect and there is a political context in which this is happening. Even as far as the legal aspect is concerned, why would you bring in ED if the CBI is not able to find strong evidence to make a solid case against you? To keep opponents in jail, you make ED, and everybody knows that if you understand the legal system, then it is very hard to get bail in ED cases. So imagine the way this is constructed, the way BJP is fabricating these cases, the way they are orchestrating the arrests of opposition leaders. So it's for everybody to see, and I repeat, for us,
All right.
it's not important who comes together where, but I think that anybody who cares for this country today must come together very naturally to stop BJP, which is perhaps the most anti-national party. They have declared themselves to be the custodians of our tradition. They've declared themselves to be the custodian of our country. But it is absolutely rubbish claims. The fact is that the BJP is doing a great disservice to the nation. And anybody who loves India, anybody who has a dream for India will be able to see through it.
All right, Karthik, initial comments from the Aam Aadmi Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party. And, what's interesting here is that Abhinandita also used the words threat to democracy. Now, I'm not interested in who came up with this particular, line first. Was it Rahul Gandhi in UK? Was it Mallikarjun Kharge's big banner at Vijay Chowk? Or is it the Aam Aadmi Party? But the point is that, it's coming in unison. The Aam Aadmi Party, the Congress, all the opposition parties now talking about this threat to democracy. How are you looking at these developments ever since Arvind Kejriwal came out last night, gave that reaction in front of the media, saying it's all a fuzzy case, nothing really happening. He knows the number of questions that were asked to him, and he also knows that the case is fuzzy. Then he dials up the Congress president, and Nitish Kumar also in talks with Arvind Kejriwal. How are you looking at these developments?
I think let's dip into history. If we talk about a united opposition, the only time the opposition united for the first time in India was in 1967. The opposition united in the assemblies of North Indian states. You had Lohia and other stalwarts at that particular point of time. You had Jayaprakash Narayan, not in its 70s avatar, but as one of the ideologues who was not in the thick of politics. And a lot of governments were made. More than 9 governments were made. Congress for the first time lost elections in various parts of North India. Those were anti-Congress governments. But then you had the socialist era. The Congress was being opposed by Socialist Party. So you had BKD, you had Chaudhry Charan Singh, you had breakaway factions of the Congress Party. So the people who came out of the Congress, they made parties in the name of farmers, they made parties with the socialist slogans. So that was the first experiment. But that was not even a united opposition. Number of opposition leaders came together to form the government. Only time the opposition was united when there was an existential threat to India's democracy. There was an existential threat to the entire opposition itself. When Indira Gandhi declared emergency in 75 till 77, people thought that this would continue, but she suddenly revoked the emergency. And then Babu Jagjeevan Ram saved Congress. Janasangh, Balasaheb Devras was the head or the Sarasanghat Chalak of RSS at that point of time, he concurred. And various other factions came together. With Chaudhry Charan Singh's BKD came together. That formed Janata Party. That was the only time you had a united opposition against a party. Even in 1990, VP Singh wanted to experiment with this idea. He could get more than 140 MPs in Lok Sabha, but it was not a united opposition. Bharatiya Janata Party fought separately on the issue of Ram Lala. You had a combination of the left parties. You had VP Singh in between, and that is why you had this Sarkar like a Trishul, VP Singh left and Advani, and the government came down on the issue of Rath Yatra. Then came the experiment of united opposition again, which was, I would say, a disunited opposition. And that disunited opposition gave two prime ministers, Deve Gowda and it gave I.K. Gujral. So, if opposition needs to unite, there are structural issues right now. The biggest structural issue is, because we have got Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, is when Kejriwal had a conversation with Mallikarjun Kharge, you had Ajay Maken tweeting, saying that this is not done. So you have a particular segment within the Congress party which feels that the Congress has been weakened by the regional parties. So how does Congress wants to do this? I think the larger question from the point of view of the opposition is, will Congress be ready to lead from behind, from the side? And the secondly is, if you look at the elections, every bipolar fight across India in Lok Sabha, barring couple of states, BJP has a strike rate of more than 69%. Strike rate of more than 69%. So some opposition, I think, is a shamera today. I think you can have an opposition with sort of a talmel, you can have an opposition with some sort of an understanding, you can have a sort of a opposition where you have a common minimum program, but you cannot have a united opposition against Narendra Modi. It doesn't work. The only time it worked in 1977 was because the entire opposition was behind bars. They were in jail. So, opposition politics, only time it succeeded, Hatao Indra was in 1977, Hatao Indra failed in 71 also. So, I think, the larger problem here is that when we talk about various political parties, how do they come together? Can Jagat Mohan Reddy Congress fight elections? What happened to Chandrababu Naidu? Look at the combination. KCR, how much is he willing to compromise? Congress party thinks it's still the national party, but it's got 50 plus.
You've got a huge figure in Mamata Banerjee also there.
So yes, but what is right is ED and CBI has created a common ground for arch enemies in the opposition space to come together and have a conversation. I do not doubt the premise of your debate. It's perfect. They are coming together. But is it enough for them to fight elections properly on one platform, to one common minimum program with one slogan, one identity? I don't have an answer for that. I don't have an answer for that, Kabir, because it's very difficult.
All right. Anila Singh ji, it seems like, coming from, Karthike, it seems like the BJP still is in a strong position. Do you think it's inevitable what's going to happen in 2024 and in the successive elections that are going to take place this year as well?
See, when we talk about the democracy, who is the judge in democracy for the political parties? It is the public of that nation, living in that nation. So when public shows their confidence, their trust in a political party or on the face of a leader, then definitely they choose that political party or the leader to lead the country or the state. But when the opposition parties, the way they are clubbing together in today's date, and I was listening to the spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party, she was just rhetoric what her Neta keeps on ranting. The thing is, threat to the democracy, threat to this, threat to that. What do they, what do they mean by saying these all things? They want to say that people living in a great nation, they do not have any sort of understanding. Lately, we won 4 states out of 5 in state elections. More elections are around the corner. Next year, central elections will be there. So do you think that people living in our nation, they don't have this much of grey matter that they can choose the leader, the political party? The reality is, if you are doing something great in Delhi state, if you have been elected the second or the third time, then definitely people of Delhi state have shown trust in your leader. But you are a great failure if I talk about Uttar Pradesh or the Gujarat or any other states you have been, except Punjab. This shows that your Neta's face or your political party is not being accepted by these people living in certain states. So you're going to say democracy is in threat in these states, but democracy is all secured in Delhi state and in Punjab because your government is there. It is not like that. So they are making their laughing stock and nothing more than that. The thing is, if I talk about Mr. Narendra Modi's policies on each and every parameter, if I talk about, especially if I talk about Human Development Index, he is not partial to any state, for any caste, for any religion. He is there to serve this nation. He is here to serve the nation men of this great country. That is why he is the most popular leader in the world. And the way we have come out of the Corona era, though I'm suffering from Corona right now, but it is such an interesting topic. I thought that, yes, I must participate. But the way everything has been controlled, vaccination, giving food, those who can't afford to have food sitting at home during the COVID time, he took care of each and everything. People see this thing, people understand this thing. So lately we have seen what happened in Uttar Pradesh, like Atiq Ahmed and his brother, they were killed. And before that, his son and one of his shooter, they got killed in an encounter. The way whole of the political parties sitting in opposition, they came together. अरे ये तो लोकतंत्र की हत्या है, ये हो क्या रहा है, सारा जो judgment justice जो है on road होगा. Bharatiya Janata Party government is trigger happy, police is trigger happy. What nonsense is this? If you talk about the Don, mafia, corrupts, you all club together and then you target Bharatiya Janata Party. It is not like that. We are here to serve nation. We are going to keep on doing that. We are not here to entertain your thoughts. We are here to serve our nation. This is what we are going to do. And if you have lots of problem, the way Bharatiya Janata Party government is working, whether we talk about the center or the states, you can go ahead and appeal in the judicial arena. They might listen to you, but we have seen a number of times that they have appealed in the judicial arena, and the honorable court has really reprimanded them that mind your business and do your work properly instead of wasting the time of the judiciary system.
All right, Abhinandita, Anila does have a point over here. Narendra Modi's report card is absolutely outstanding at this point in time. Now, Ajay Makhan, take a look at that particular statement. He says that no sympathy must be shown to quote-unquote Ghee-gate Kejriwal. How does that, reflect on Aam Aadmi Party's current position? Aam Aadmi Party, trying to make inroads with Mallikarjun Kharge, Nitish Kumar as well. Does the Aam Aadmi Party know the kind of role it has to play in this opposition unity ahead of 2024? Is it okay with Congress Party being the fulcrum of this opposition unity? Does Arvind Kejriwal know what kind of game plan he needs to have ahead of 2024?
Let me respond to your first question first. As far as Narendra Modi ji's track record is concerned, I'm guessing that Anila ji and you are talking about his track record in elections. We are more concerned about his track record as a Prime Minister of this country. We are more concerned about where he is taking this country, what is his vision, where are we headed 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and so on. So the amount of money that the BJP has pumped into electoral politics, it is not a surprise that they're doing well, besides the fact that they have very divisive and very crooked sort of strategies at play as far as elections are concerned. So I think that, well, congratulations to them for being so successful electorally, but whether or not you're delivering to the country, whether or not you're serving, I unfortunately have to say that that does not seem to be the case. You are a failure. I mean, the BJP at the moment, this government is a failure, both in terms of, taking care of domestic issues as well as some certain things which cause damage to or danger to the sovereignty of this country. Number two, as far as, Mr. Makhan's comments are concerned, He's free to say whatever he wants to. It's not appropriate for me to comment on it because we are not concerned with that at the moment. When we will be concerned with it, I'll surely share my details. But the problem at hand is much larger than what Mr. Markan is saying. Number three, what I was listening to Anila ji, and she really exposed the BJP very well and the BJP ideology very well, which is that there need not be any, court of law. I mean, what she was saying is that if there are, there can be a Gundaraj. We want to know what were the connections of these criminals with, with any foreign agency. We wanted to know all this. How can anybody really the come in support of extrajudicial activities, no matter who is in the government and who's being killed. So this sort of rubbish mob mentality that the BJP tries to invoke in themselves and in the other people, and which excites the sort of fringe in this country to take over. These are all tactics, to really remain in power, to just hide their failures. I'm repeating. And coming back to the question of what is the opposition, really, today we feel that it is Narendra Modi versus India. I think that is the condition, that is the real, statistic, that is the real situation in this country. Electorally, they may be doing well. Let's see what happens in the coming elections. In several states, they're failing. In several states, they're panicking. This is obviously going to happen because, India is not equal to Modi and Modi is not equal to India. And definitely Mr. Modi is not equal to efficiency, not equal to, being honest, not equal to anything that we look forward to, look up to in a prime minister or somebody in that role.
All right. Karthikeya, I'm really keen to understand how you looked at Ajay Makan's, tweet he took to the microblogging website. It's a really long, expansive, particular tweet, called it Ghee Gate Kejriwal. Those are the right words that have been used as well.
Ajay Makan, Sheila Dikshit, late Sheila Dikshit, the older Congress within Delhi, they lost to Arvind Kejriwal. We have to understand that. Ajay Makan was minted in Delhi politics when Congress and BJP dominated the NCR region. Now with coming of Aam Aadmi Party has hegemonized everything. Not only it vacated or pushed out Congress from the position of power because Congress ruled for 15 years, but it also hegemonized the BJP space. The first time they got, they made the government with support of the Congress MLAs. Second time they had 67 MLAs in the assembly. BJP only had 3. So, this was the biggest hegemony. If you look at it, I don't think any state assembly had such numbers. So, obviously, every political party feels that Aam Aadmi Party has hegemonized. But see, we have to understand what Aam Aadmi Party has done. Aam Aadmi Party recently received the national party status. TMC is not a national party right now. NCP is not a national party right now. RLD has lost its state party status right now. Aam Aadmi Party has been the only party after Janasangh or after Bharatiya Janata Party which has created a space for itself in the central politics, not in regional politics, but in central politics, like a centers party, like Swatantra Party was in 1960s and 70s, and has received the national status. It means that Aam Aadmi Party has a government in Punjab, in Delhi. Aam Aadmi Party fought elections in Himachal Pradesh. Aam Aadmi Party got numbers in double digit, which is vote share in Gujarat. So it means Aam Aadmi Party's profile has increased not as a regional party, but as a national party. We have to understand that. Other political or the regional party purchased political heft. That is why the only organic opposition to Congress came from Bharatiya Janata Party, because it was a national party when they conceived it in the Bombay Adhiveshan, where Atal Bihari Vajpayee very famously said, "Andhera chhatega, Kamal khilega." Now, Aam Aadmi Party is eating into the space of the Congress party. NCP is a Maratha party or a Maharashtrian party, purchased, I would say, politically managed heft by getting Karnakaran in, getting then Tariq Anwar from Bihar, getting Mr. Purno Sangma from Northeast, and they said, well, we are a national party. Like, for example, there were a couple of LJP won a seat in Nagaland, not because LJP was strong, but one strong independent took the LJP seat from them, which is symbol from them, and he contested the election. So Aam Aadmi Party is creating that pressure within the opposition. it is emerging as, I'm not saying it's emerging as an alternative to Congress, as now the idea has come to stay. They have two governments. So principally, right now the fight is within the opposition. See, BJP is sitting pretty. Wherever, Congress is strong, the fight is between Congress and BJP. Look at what has happened in Karnataka. Mr. Shettar has joined Congress party. BJP leaders in Karnataka have joined Congress party.
In huge numbers.
In huge numbers. So BJP is on defensive in Karnataka. But in other places it is not so. So the problem right now of reorganization yourself to a hegemony like Bharatiya Janata Party lies within the opposition. You see, the challenge is always with the opposition when it comes to challenging the hegemony. So I think, Kabir, when people need to be innovative. Can you imagine that Advani and left came together to support VP Singh so that Rajiv Gandhi with 190 plus seats in Lok Sabha should not become the Prime Minister? People with 35 MPs have become Prime Minister in this country. People with 141 MPs in Lok Sabha have become Prime Minister. But Rajiv Gandhi with 190 didn't try to do that because that was a different time. So similarly, I think these debates are irrelevant. Akhilesh Yadav in this picture, Mamata Banerjee in this picture. Akhilesh Yadav is saying that we don't want to ally with the Congress party. So, but does Aam Aadmi Party have space in Uttar Pradesh? So I think it's my understanding of the situation is that yes, whatever the BJP spokesperson might say, ED and CBI is working as a glue to bring various combinations of opposition parties together, because history has shown when the crisis becomes existential, political parties come together. Didn't Jansangh dissolve? Didn't Jansangh support Morarji Desai to become the Prime Minister? They became part of Janata Party. Didn't Babu Jagjeevan Ram, dissolve its Save Congress? Didn't Congress so merge with Janata Parties? It was Congress, so it was Save Congress organization, BKD, it was Jan Sangh, they came together. Na? Wasn't it an existential crisis that right and left supported a person like VP Singh? They came together. And then in 1996, when the BJP juggernaut was peaking with Atal Bihari Vajpayee, didn't Congress say now for secularism we are going to support those parties which have been blaming us for corruption for past 20 years, all the socialist and Janta Parwa. So everything happens when it comes to जब जान की बाजी लगती है इस देश की राजनीति में तो सब कुछ होता है. So my understanding is ED and CBI, whatever the reason be for their activism, whatever the data may be, 95% against the opposition, but it is working as a catalyst for getting different political parties together, and there is no doubt about it.
Anila Singh ji, is this particular point, what Karthik is talking about, even a minute in the meeting, is it even an agenda, a slight point of concern or worry for the BJP? ED, CBI, their cases on the opposition, whatever it may be, is bringing them close together?
Good for us. If they want to glue together on the basis that CBI or the ED is being used against them, so let us club together and fight elections and defeat defeat Bharatiya Janata Party in 2024. Good for us. It will be easier for us to explain public people of this great nation. Let's see. These are the people who have history of corruption, who have history of doing illegal things for their own selfish motive. They have clubbed together. They want to fight against us. No, it is your choice.
But do you think, Anila ji, that will stand in Karnataka? In Karnataka, the 40% Sarkara Commission, that particular jibe is thrown against the BJP government. It's not like any political party is clean, of this corruption allegation here.
But, we are not... that's a very good point you have raised. When they say that Bharatiya Janata Party leaders, they are not being, interrogated by the agencies, only opposition is being interrogated. I just have to say one thing, that in all those states where Bharatiya Janata Party is not in power, you have got certain agencies which can interrogate, which can come out with the proofs against Bharatiya Janata Party leaders who are involved in corrupt or wrong practices. Come out with the proof. Come out in the media. Go ahead. Put all those evidences against Bharatiya Janata Party leaders in the court. You are not proving anything. You're simply claiming that Bharatiya Janata Party is using CBI and ED against them. So you're talking about the Karnataka elections. Say anything, say everything. Ultimately, people are going to decide that who is going to form government in Karnataka. We have to wait and watch. So the thing is, let them say it is good for us. Nobody can blame Narendra Modi ji that he is indulged or involved in any of the corrupt practices. He is a dynarch. Nobody can say that. Rahul Gandhi ji, he had been crying his heart out about Adani. If you've got some sort of proof, then please show it. Show it to the media at least. You keep on asking ये 20,000 करोड़ रुपया कहाँ से आया अडानी का ये वो प्लीज आपके पास प्रूफ है तो बताइए ना केवल बोलने से नहीं होता that you keep on bitching about Narendra Modi ji in foreign lands here in our own country you do Bharat Jodo Yatra and then you say कि मुझे तो कहीं नफरत नहीं दिखाई देती है so the people of this nation they understand we have very mature democracy in our country and politically awakened citizens of this nation so it is good for us let them club together हम एक साथ लड़ेंगे ना पांडव जीते थे कौरव नहीं जीते थे महाभारत में
Well, all right. So Mahabharat, anecdote also being invoked over there. Abhinandita, Karthik spoke about the organic strength of the Aam Aadmi Party. It's now a national party. The NCP, the TMC, devoid of that particular status. But do you think the organic strength of the Aam Aadmi Party is going to maybe push the opposition over the edge?
I think that is not what we are aiming to do, or that's not a goal. So I won't be able to answer your question because that's not what we're actively thinking about. But the fact that we are now a national party is only good news. We are, regardless of who is ruling in another party, we have made sure that the agendas that are of interest to the common people, like health and education, have to become part of the election discourse. So I think, therefore, we are a force to reckon with everywhere in the country. But as far as, what our organic strength can do or cannot do, we're not concerned with that. We go state by state when we contest elections. We try and, put our agenda forward to the people. We now have work to show. We have a report card that we share with the people. Sometimes they trust us, sometimes they don't. And, I think, but the idea of Aam Aadmi Party, I think there we have successfully been able to dominate not just any other party, but also the BJP, because when BJP governments are also now compelled to, give free electricity that they otherwise make fun of or ridicule, or they are forced to, get a photo. Imagine seeing a photo of Amit Shah in a kindergarten and Modi ji in a fake school. So I think that way we are dominating the political landscape in some way, and hopefully for the good fight.
Right, and earlier in the debate, you spoke about how you were not worried about PM's electoral result. You're more worried about where he's taking the country per se. But don't you feel like to convert BJP's quote-unquote failures that you spoke about and to convert them into a success, you will have to end up winning these elections? So maybe these concerns that are not on Aam Aadmi Party's priority list at the moment will suddenly become all too real and then become a burden for the Aam Aadmi Party?
No, I don't think that is what I said. What I meant is that our top concern is not, we are not very impressed, or it's not just about, BJP's electoral success or failure. If they were able to serve the country, or if they were able to deliver, we wouldn't have to be here. But it does not mean that electorally, we are going to be complacent. In fact, we are the most successful, political story in the country, and perhaps in the world as well. So I don't think we take elections lightly. That's not what I mean. But what I do want to say is that, all right, you might be very good at winning elections. You have so much might and so much power. You have the whip to silence the opposition and so on. But, that's not impressive enough. That does not scare us. We are more interested in what the BJP is doing in terms of delivering as a government. And that's what I meant. And electorally, of course, as any political expert would agree, that I think when it comes to the Aam Aadmi Party, we do break some trends, we do break some records, we do, destabilize certain things. So it's very hard to predict how well the Aam Aadmi Party will do. Like, Bhagwant Manji's quotes that sometimes हम survey में नहीं आते, हम सरकार में आते हैं सीधा. So, I mean, there are magical things that happen when the people, give us their faith. I think that we are in the right direction in that sense. And definitely, we are giving sleepless nights to the BJP. I mean, some of them, even off the record, tell us that, that Modi ji is very obsessed with Mr. Kejriwal because, you're like gale ki haddi na chabane ki na khane ki type. So there is no tod for Mr. Kejriwal with Mr. Narendra Modi. Plus, after all that we are going through, we are still able to smile. You will not see us, use any harsh or abusive language towards the other. We are very focused on delivery. We are the way we have won a historic mandate, despite of being the incumbent, shows that we are, focused on work. We are very excited to work, and we are very excited to, beat the BJP in elections for sure. But at the same time, our, where we come from is a place of, wanting the best for the country, whether it is BJP, whether it is us, whether it is any other party that is delivered, we welcome that. But unfortunately, the BJP is failing the people of this country very miserably.
Well, make India number one, Karthik. That was that campaign with the big background. Arvind Kejriwal, he was, in the run-up or after the Gujarat elections. I'm not particularly sure that make India number one campaign. Nobody had come out with this particular campaign in English, contemporary, the urban youth also, really getting attracted to that particular campaign. And if, like Abhinandita spoke about, Gale ki haddi, it seems like that's exactly where Kejriwal also wants to be. The Supreme Court was moved by the opposition, the data that you also put forth. Do you think the central agencies, the ED, the CBI, the ruling dispensation, they're going to be probably forced into a corner where they think, let's go easy on the opposition leaders right now?
There are two things. Positive campaigns are not the domain of Bharatiya Janata Party. Positive campaigns were launched by multiple parties. Mera Bharat Mahan was a positive campaign, but Congress party lost the election. Shining India was a positive campaign, but Atal Bihari Vajpayee lost the elections. And please remember, the 2019 election was fought on the nationalism issue, and 2014 election in India was fought on the corruption issue. So Achhe Din was the only positive campaign which has done very well. Achhe Din aayenge. Now, I don't know whether Achhe Din for Congress or the opposition. So the Achhe Din for the BJP came, but the Achhe Din for the opposition vanished. So the problem, the real issue is Achhe Din kiske honge? Achhe Din for BJP, for 8.5 years they are in power, and power with great hegemony, great strength. So there are two things there. One, India in a way has reversed to what its politics was in 1970s, where you had one big strong party and then you had multiple parties in the close visibility, but not powerful enough to challenge the government. If you look at our parliament in 50s, 60s and early 70s, you had Swatantra Party less than 60 seats, you had left parties less than 60 seats, you have Jansangh less than 40 seats. So they couldn't even get the leader of opposition. 2014 Congress less than 60 seats, 2019 Congress less than 60 seats, left parties less than 60 seats. Any other political party cannot get more than 50-60 seats. So I think the bipolarity which came to stay in Indian politics for last 20 years has been broken down. It's one party versus the rest now. It has gone back to the days of 70s, but for that lot of compromise and sacrifice is required. The politics of compromise was in 90s and early 2000 where NDA and UPA was formed. The politics of sacrifice was when Janata Party was formed. So my understanding is, if opposition wants to fight BJP, which is sitting pretty well on a consolidated Hindu vote, it has to be a politics of sacrifice. It cannot be a politics of compromise where you can give jail ministry to all Bihar parties, the ports and other things will go to Dravidian political parties. No, that was a compromise. Today's politics has to be the politics of sacrifice. If they need to be a credible challenge, then they have to sacrifice a lot of things. But the larger issue is, today the money in politics is huge. It's like huge. If you merge them, what happens to the money parked in regional parties? 800 crores, 700 crores, 900 crores, 1000 crores. What happens to that pool of money? It is that which is preventing these political parties to merge. No one wants to merge their batwa.
Can't share the coffers.
Yes, can't share the coffers. That is where the problem of opposition is going to come.
Well, absolutely. Again, the pieces have set in motion, but we'll have to wait and watch as to how things really pan out. That CBI questioning of Arvind Kejriwal yesterday has created ripples in the opposition unity bloc. Is another alliance on the card, another acronym that we'll have to now make use to. We'll have to wait and watch who's going to bow down, which political party is going to be at the fulcrum of this opposition unity, because let's not forget anything and everything that happens from now on, it all is going to boil down towards the 2024 Lok Sabha General Assembly, general elections. Well, on that note, many thanks to Anila Singh, spokesperson BJP. We wish you all the best. Hope you recover from your COVID bout as soon as possible. Abhinandita, Dayal Mathur, always a pleasure speaking to you. And Kartike, always nice to speaking to you in the studio. We're going to slip into a quick break here. News and updates continue on News 9 Live. Don't go anywhere.